This is Frank Goss with SGTV. In Paris, in the 1870s, one of the world's most loved art movements emerged, Impressionism. It would take years for the movement to make its way to the U.S. Eventually, young Americans made their way to Europe to study with the great Impressionists of the day. Ultimately, references to Monet, Degas, and Sicily would show up in the work of the new generation of painters who were exhibiting in New York. Gradually, subject matter moved from Europe to our own shore, even to Central Park. Painters, including the great Edward Potthast, could not wait for summer to record beach scenes in Manhattan. Over several decades, the country developed the standard bearers of American Impressionism. In this exhibit, there are any number of wonderful advocates of the genre. Frank Benson, Abbott Fuller Graves, Arthur Hazard, William Chadwick, and the studied portraitist Marguerite Pearson. Ultimately, the movement spread from coast to coast, and proponents could be found in every art colony. There were Impressionist painters in California shortly before the turn of the century, but the 1915 Pan-Pacific International Exhibition marked the formal arrival of Impressionism in the Golden State. Amongst the leaders of the movement were the inveterate traveler Theodore Wars, Guy Rose, and our very own Colin Campbell Cooper. Ultimately, the Impressionists favored summer scenes, a trip to the shore to cool off, reclining in the shade on a hot summer's day, a blazing noonday light on a summer porch, a sultry moment at the beach, like Charles Curran's An Afternoon Respite, all scenes favored by Impressionists. American art lovers and collectors settled on a handful of these painters to revere. In California, there are not many Impressionists who influenced the movement more than William Wendt, whose haystack somehow echoes those of the great Monet. Museum collections are built around the likes of Winslow Homer's watercolors. Each of these giants of the American art world contributed mightily to the direction American art would take for nearly half a century. Perhaps most powerful of them all is William Merritt Chase, whose studio in Shinnecock produced some of the greatest examples of American Impressionism, including Along the Path at Shinnecock, painted at the turn of the century. There is one painting, one of my favorites, that epitomizes the entire sense of romance that the Impressionists loved. It is by the lesser-known but still very powerful Hamilton Hamilton. His evocative stroll through the garden sets the scene for a summer day. His model, parasol in hand, moves slowly through the blossoms, enjoying the bounty of the earth. Every summer, we gather an Impressionist show together for our Santa Barbara venue. We have assembled over 50 paintings this year. Please join us as we enjoy the summer of 2014 with this celebration of many of America's favorite artists now through September.